Yeah, so I wanted to just go through the standings and see like what's important in the last match, and who booked their spot and everything.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And then we could jump into individual games.
Yeah, I had a little mini trivia to start for the pre-show drinks.
All right, it's up. Sick. Here we go. Tell me you heard that one.
Oh, I heard it loud and clear.
How you doing?
Doing well. How about you?
Dude, midweek Champions League where it actually mattered this time. All
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. Now we're through the extra games and down to the games that actually matter.
Yeah, this was game 7. I feel like the first 6 I cared very little about.
I feel like the first few, you're really into it, and then there was a significant lull this year, obviously, with the extra 2 games. So, but yeah, these last 2 is when you're really back into it, feeling it. So
Well, Blake
it
and
was
I were
fun to,
yeah, Blake and I were chatting about this. I think you were working, and
yeah.
this first round is, I don't want to say lame, but like just not important. Like the best teams are going to qualify. It's just a matter of are they going to get the automatic
Hmm.
qualifier or not. I think the next 2 rounds are going to be really exciting though. Obviously the final knockout, it will be the exact same as before, which will be awesome.
Hmm.
But then this new like playoff
Yeah,
elimination
there's a whole
matchup
extra slate of true playoff games, which will be really fun.
with some big clubs that we'll get into.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's almost like they turned it into what feels like a regular season with this eight game setup,
Yes.
where you still will end up with some teams that are having, because of poor results, are having to try, but it really feels like an American, I don't know, NBA or baseball regular season almost, where some games matter and a lot of them don't. But it is cool. We basically have a whole nother round of actual playoff matches, so that'll be real fun to watch.
Well, this essentially is the Super League. They were trying to figure
Yeah,
out that Super League, that European Super League, and
yeah.
fans rioted. This
Hmm.
essentially is like a mini league
Yeah, they
with
already
a
had it with the
16 round
Champions League.
knockout tournament at the end. So it kind of
Yeah,
morphed it into that.
that's a good point, and it just tells you that there already was a Super League. We didn't need another one.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need
We
more
already had
leagues.
one, so let's enjoy this one
No, thank
before
you.
we go and tear it down and make a new one.
Yeah, and if we start playing matches in Saudi Arabia, I might just give up.
Shit, man,
I might go
that's
full
definitely on the
MLS
table.
and just hate my
Definitely
life.
on the table. Well, you are going full MLS season ticket holder over here, but
No, 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 no. You never go full MLS. All right.
all right, simple Jack.
But yes, I am a season ticket holder for the inaugural SDFC. Let's go. Kevin De Bruyne,
Let's
come home,
go.
baby. Come home.
Let's go. So, start of the show drinks. We didn't have any midweek Premier League, so no pick'ems or fantasy or prop bets. We do have 7 red cards.
I will drink 5 because I am not giving the referee of that Atletico Madrid um, match any credibility for my drinks because those 2 red
Yeah,
cards were horrible, absolutely horrible calls. So I'll do 5.
I like that. I'll split 5 with you because I was going to do a quick brief to lead us into Champions League uh, through 7 game weeks trivia, and if you get it right, I drink. You get it
Okay.
wrong, you drink.
Okay.
Real quick, got 4 questions for you. Who currently has scored the most goals through 7 weeks in
Oh
the
God.
Champions
See,
League?
I only pay attention to like the last 2. Most goals. These are individuals, right? Not teams.
I'm actually going to ask you for both
Okay.
individual and team.
All right. Well, team. I mean, the obvious pick would be Liverpool because they won every match, but I don't know if they've been the most high scoring. But I'm still going to go Liverpool.
They have not been the most high scoring.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
Barcelona
Ah, ha, ha,
with
yeah.
11 more goals than Liverpool, actually.
Another
26 goals through 7 games.
wild match this week.
How about
Individually,
individual? Individual, yeah.
I mean, maybe on Barcelona, I'll go. Rafinha's been scoring some big goals. I'll go Rafinha.
Oh man, he's in second with his
Ah,
teammate Lewandowski on 9, Rafinha on 8.
wow, dude, 1 and 2. That's pretty
I'll give
incredible.
you, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll give you a
I'll drink
half
for
on
that one.
that because that was a good one. All right, the other side of the table. Which team has allowed the least goals through the 7 match weeks?
That's Liverpool.
It is not Liverpool. They're
What?
tied in second.
I thought they were leading. Arsenal.
Liverpool is also tied in second with Liverpool.
Oh my god, I got the two second places.
Yeah, I'll give you one
Um,
more guess.
um, I don't know. Brest.
Inter,
I just,
1 goal
I just
allowed.
wanted to say Brest. Oh, I knew that. Oh man, I should have
Yeah.
known that. Yeah, of course, Inter. All right. Wait, was that the last question?
Yeah, my last question was going to be assist. Who leads in assists? This was going to be the hardest one, but the other ones were already hard enough. So I'll
Oh man, I
give
don't
you
know.
one quick guess.
Um, I don't know. Mo Salah.
De Ketelare with 5.
I would not have gotten that one.
Yeah, he's been
I'll
balling
drink for
though.
that one. All right, I'm pulling up
He's been
the
balling.
standings now. If the
Yeah, so we're
questions are
gonna
over.
run through basically where we're at with one game to go, see who's safe, who's not safe, and then kind of look at some of the big matches that happened over the last couple days.
Yeah. Okay. So we have 8 teams that are getting automatic bids to the knockout stage.
Yes.
Right now, those teams are Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal, Inter, Atletico Madrid, AC Milan, Atalanta, and Leverkusen, who just lost to Atletico Madrid, by the way, which was a crazy game,
Mm.
which I'm sure we'll talk about. This next group from 9 to 24 go into a playoff. Now, do you know if this playoff is 2 legs or just one match?
Oh man, I looked it up last time. I believe it's 2 legs, but I will double check those rules.
But as you look that up, right now, Manchester City are on the outside looking in 25th. So that
It
means
is it is 2 legged.
it is 2 legs. Okay.
Yeah.
So if Manchester City does not, they're 2 points out of 24th. So they need to win their next match. If they
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
win,
I
they are out of the tournament.
yeah, and I actually have the stats. So I have the probabilities here for all the teams. Basically, their probability of finishing first within the top 8 within the playoff or being eliminated. So you
Okay.
mentioned
Are these
Manchester.
Vegas numbers?
These are just like percentages, like the likelihood,
Okay.
not odds. Like these are just percentages, percent chance.
Gotcha.
Versus courtesy of Opta, which is now kind of the gold standard. But Man City, you mentioned on the brink, still with a 64% chance per the
So
simulations of making it.
they play Club Bruges at home. So you got to think they're going to win that match.
You got to think they're going to win it, but I don't know if you saw the latest Club Bruges stats. They have now gone undefeated in their last 19 games.
Well, they're not playing the same schedule
They're not
that,
playing the highest caliber, but still 19 games undefeated.
and they are 3 points ahead of Man City in the table right now. So this game means everything to them. If
Mm-hmm.
they even get a point out of this, if they draw, they'll secure their spot, I think, because there's 4 teams at 10 beneath them. A couple of big clubs too, with like Benfica and PSG. So this 8th week is going to be wild. This is going to be exciting. Even though the first 6 I could care less about, this one's going to
Yeah,
be a lot of fun. Uh,
yeah.
so did you see that PSG Man City match?
I did. Oh, I watched the highlights. I didn't watch
Okay,
it live.
I got to watch it live, and City and PSG were pretty even in the first half, but nobody scored. It was 0-0. Could have gone either way a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
And then second half, it was like Man City just scored 2 goals in like 3 minutes. Boom, boom, 2-0. And you're like, okay, Man City's
Grealish
back.
scores. Yeah.
Yeah, Man City's got this. they're doing their thing. And then all of a sudden, dude, Barcelona just turned it, or Barcelona, they look like Barcelona. PSG turned it on and they scored four. They tied it up real quick, got it to 2-2, and then
Yeah.
they scored one later, and then a super late goal, which was just a screw up by Man City's defense. But what a comeback. They were on the outside looking in too, so it was really big for them to get that 3 points. Now they're, what I mentioned, 22nd. A crazy game. I didn't know PSG had that in them, and it's
No.
just another time where Man City just shit the bed.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing that would have never happened if Neymar was still there. Like this, this was like you kind of said, like you don't picture PSG being a team like that, but they actually had heart. Like they
Yeah.
played hard, and it felt different. Watching that team out there, there was just like more, I don't know, buy-in with each other and caring about what was happening in the game, which is just not what you associate with PSG. But it made for an awesome game. That second half was crazy.
And it's not what you associate Man City with, blowing leads,
True.
even though they've been doing it
True.
lately. But crazy. And I haven't seen Man City get pushed around like that, to where PSG were just 1-2 passes in a run, and they were just running at the goal, and Man City couldn't slow them down. Like, I don't want to say
Yeah.
they were getting everything they wanted, but they were slicing them up. It was crazy.
Yeah, there's just like players getting nutmegged, like just like Dembele was torching them, just
Dembele.
getting in the box, getting shots on goal, just like you said, just like running straight through them. It was crazy.
It was. I cannot believe it. And now Man City, that Club Rouge game is going to be fun. So what'd you say? They're 19 wins in a row? Or
19
unbeaten in 19?
undefeated, yeah, in all competitions, yeah. So they haven't felt the loss in a long time. So they're definitely going to be, if there's a time you don't want to be playing a team like Bruges, it's that time, when they're riding high on confidence. So I did want to mention in this game though, before we move on, I don't know if you saw that first goal that was scored and disallowed. It was in the first half, I believe. That is the closest offside I have yet seen with VAR. I don't know if you saw, but it was literally like the hairs on the tip of his knee that were offside, and they disallowed PSG's first goal.
In real time though, it looked offside because he had a step on the defender, and so like a half second after the ball left the foot, he was pretty far in front of the guy. So in real time, it did look offside, but it was really close.
Yeah, at the moment though, where they have the semi-automatic or whatever, the Hawkeye technology or whatever, and that's now the record that I have seen for closest offside call.
That was really close. So for Man City, real quick to button it up here, they play Chelsea at home. We'll do our picks later. That'll be game of the week for sure. They play Chelsea at home on Saturday, and then Champions League comes back next week. So Wednesday they play Club Bruges. So two big
every
matches.
game at the same time.
Every game at the same time. Awesome. That'll be impossible to watch, but you really only need to watch probably like 6 or 7, which still is impossible, but it'll be fun to check in. The other match that I watched, I was really excited about Atletico Madrid and Leverkusen. And it was like 15 minutes into the match, the ref pulls a red card for one of the softest challenges I've ever seen. It was a yellow maybe. And dude, it was so bad. It was one of those things, even the announcers in their announcer way like said it was a wrong call without saying it. They were like, they made a good point. He said, I just wish that they would do VAR replays in real time. Don't slow it down, because when you slow it down, all you see is cleat on the calf. That's a red card, and it's like, no, he barely touched him. It was a slide for the ball.
It's like a freeze frame.
Had zero intention. Barely clipped him. Like, and it was 15 minutes into the game. Like, it was such a bad red card. I cannot believe that he gave that. It was super bad, and so I was pissed. Like, oh my god, now the game's over. Leverkusen's gonna win. Like, I switched over to another game. And then I come back later, like an hour later, and it's 1-1. And like, what? And then I'm watching for like 5 more minutes. Another soft ass red card that was
Yeah.
a yellow where the guy, of course, it was Simeone's son. He would do this. He beat the defender, no doubt. Got a step on him, but instead of trying to dribble, like continuing dribbling, he just
Yeah.
threw his legs laterally in front of the
In
defender
front of the
for
defender.
him to
Yeah.
run into his legs, and then he falls on his face. The ref gives a yellow for that, like an idiot. Second yellow, red card, and now it's 10-10. And you could say it's justice for the bad call earlier, but the ref just fucked up the game. Props to Atletico Madrid for pulling out a victory in that circumstance because
Yeah.
they were up against it. But that ref just ruined that whole game for me.
Yeah, it really sucks. It just sucks that like yeah, it's something that's really just so unique to soccer, with in other sports, a tactical type foul will never leave your side down a person for the rest of a game, which is
Yeah.
just incredible. And, I guess rugby is the only other one, but in every other sport, yeah, okay, you could call that player out, but you still get to add somebody back on the field. So it's so impactful. It changes. The game would have been way better without it, even though, for Atletico, they still found a way, but it just really ruined such an awesome, awesome occasion.
Yeah. So the announcer did say, he's like, this would be a good opportunity for like the orange card. This would be a good orange card foul here, not a red. But what do you think of his idea of VAR replays only being in real speed?
I like it for the VARs that matters. So say it comes down to, so there was another VAR earlier I watched for Europa League where they called a penalty on, I think it was Tottenham's goalie, and they needed to see if he made contact with the ball before he hit the player. I am very much a fan of you go to the slowest frame you need to see if he actually hit the ball before the man, right? Because that's the difference between a foul and not a foul.
That Tottenham goalie tipped it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Where at first they said he hit the player first. So that's an example where I am very happy that they would slow it down. And so when it's a point decision, I think it's fine. When it is a truly subjective call, then yes, it shouldn't be slowed down. It should be reenacted just how an observer or a referee would see that in the moment. It literally changes the type of call it is. The ref isn't seeing slow motion when he's out there.
Yeah.
Yes, he may not have the best view, but any foul type call, it's not like an offsides. It's not like a who touched it last. It's not like, oh, did it cross the line? It is a subjective call where all of the variables matter, and you're literally changing some of those variables. So I'm very much a fan of that being not allowed in slow motion.
Yeah. Either way, though, both those teams look pretty good. They're both in the top 8 at the moment.
Yeah.
I see both these teams in the knockout stage. They are kind of different in their styles. Atletico Madrid has their style. Julian Alvarez is beasting for them. Like, he enables them to do all their defensive stuff because he can finish so efficiently. He had his second goal was so nice. He did a little hop step, like his quick feet were the reason that he was able to score, dribbled around the goalie and like hopped on his left foot twice to hit it in with his right. It was pretty clean.
So talented.
I know. Man, shitty. Man, shitty.
Shitty.
Sound like a United fan. They should have kept him. They should have kept him. What a mistake.
Yeah.
So what other matches? So I watched that one. I didn't watch any others in their entirety, but I did catch highlights. Any that you want to talk about? Oh, we got to talk about the Barcelona Benfica.
Yeah.
Oh
Barcelona. It's got to be the next one.
What a roller coaster. I was like flipping back and forth from that one after the Atletico match was ruined for me.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I couldn't keep track of what was going on. There were so many mistakes, so many awesome goals. Like it was hectic. I cannot believe Barcelona won that.
Insane. Yeah. So 5-4 final with the last winning goal coming in the 96th minute. So from there was a goal in the second minute and a goal in the 96th minute, and all in between goals nonstop, which is just an incredible game to watch.
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize they had this many goals. 26 goals for Barcelona in 7 matches.
Yeah,
Wow. That's almost 4
11 more,
goals a match.
11 more than Liverpool. Yep.
That is insane. They have 1 loss and 6 wins, so they're in second. They're guaranteed a spot for sure with 18 points. The cutoff is 13 points at the moment.
Yeah.
Aston
So
Villa's in
yeah.
ninth
So I
with
have the
13.
percentages here. So Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal are all locked in for top 8 at least, with
Well,
Liverpool at
Inter.
90%.
What about Inter? They have 16 as well.
They do, but I guess there is a way they could fall into the playoff. They have a 98% chance
Oh,
of
probably
being
because
in
they
the
only
top
have
8.
8 goals.
Yeah, yeah,
8 goals.
tiebreaker probably. But yeah, if you round up, yeah, you could call those 4 good in terms of advancing. The next 4 in terms of odds is Atletico Madrid at 82%, Leverkusen at 76%, Milan at 74, and then actually Aston Villa, even though they're not currently in it, is the next in terms of probability at 53%.
Huh. I really want Villa to make it. I want them to get that bye too. Who do
Yeah,
they
give them a
play?
chance. Yeah.
We've obviously big Villa fans after visiting their stadium last year. They play Celtic at home. That should be a W. Oh man, that game would be so awesome to go to.
That'd be fun to go to. Celtic fans? Oh, yeah, that'd be sick.
Oh, did you? I wanted to. Do you know that I'm jumping to Europa real quick? But did you see if Man United beat Rangers today?
They did. Yeah.
They did. Okay.
But it was another one of those like last minute. So they were up 1-0 almost the whole game. I watched the highlights. Up 1-0 almost the whole game. Concede to for Rangers tied up 1-1 sometime in the 80th minutes. But then they come back and score like 3 minutes later to take the lead 2-1 and hold on.
Oh man.
So even then, still a struggle for Man U to get the dub.
Uh, Staying in Europa real quick. I actually watched Tottenham Hoffenheim today,
Uh-huh.
and it was a pretty exciting match. Tottenham were up 2-0 at halftime. It's in Germany. And second half, Hoffenheim is putting on the pressure. Like they are the better team at the start of the second half. They have that moment that you mentioned with the penalty
Mm-hmm.
that gets called off after the replay correctly.
Yeah.
And then they score immediately after that to make it 2-1. And man, vibes for Tottenham were real low. And it was like you could just feel the confidence with Hoffenheim growing and Tottenham just looking more and more gassed. Just it was dismal. And then Son, like the captain beast that he is, comes through with a huge clutch goal to make it 3-1. And it was just like at that time, I think it was like the 75th minute, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hoffenheim just rolled over, and Tottenham's like, okay, thank God. Like
Yeah.
huge relief, huge win. It's such a big goal for a
Yeah.
struggling Tottenham team. They really needed that. It could have gone real bad, and Son saved the day. So that was actually a really exciting game. And good news for Tottenham,
Yeah.
I think, rolling into the weekend when we do our picks later.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. And some big saves out of their goalie. He's been playing really well. Great addition to the team.
No,
Really needed
it
that.
wasn't Kinski. It was the other guy, Austin.
Oh, yeah, that wasn't the new goalie? Okay.
It wasn't. And
All I
don't
know is he wasn't Fraser Forster, and this guy looked way better than him.
He's just like 20 years younger, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
he
he had
did
some
look pretty.
nice saves.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know who's gonna play this weekend. What he'll do there, but
Yeah.
well, it's in the news. But Solanke out for 6 weeks. I saw.
Oof.
Yeah,
I missed that.
tough one. Tough.
That hurts.
They have so many injured players. It's crazy. All right, so next week we'll so maybe on Monday we'll go through the picks and the big games for Champions League next week.
Yeah.
Any other matches you want to talk about? I didn't watch any others. I did catch some highlights,
We
but I
got to
didn't
just
watch
quickly
any other
touch
ones.
on that insane Feyenoord Bayern game
Oh
with some of the
yeah,
most lopsided stats you'll ever see.
did you see those stats? Because I had them for
I
you.
did. Yeah, yeah. I didn't.
Oh my
I saw
gosh.
the headline, but go ahead and read them because I didn't actually look in detail at them.
Okay. Uh, Give me one quick second. All right. So Bayern had 80% possession to Feyenoord's 20. Bayern had 30 shots to Feyenoord's 8. Bayern had 13 corners to Feyenoord's 1 corner. And yet they lost 3-0. Unbelievable stats. Like, I don't know if that's luck, if that's skill, if that like a combination of both.
It's peak execution. I mean, it's peak execution from Feyenoord's perspective offensively. Every legit chance they had, they were fully confident in front of goal. Super confident penalty. Great 2 touches from Jimenez to finish that first goal. A great through ball pass for the third goal. Just anytime they had a real opportunity, they were just ready to capitalize. But this type of stuff does not happen unless the other team does not fuck up. And Bayern had so many chances, some insane saves out of the Feyenoord goalie, but still probably at least 2 or 3 goals that should have gone in, either hit off the post, hit into a player, hit wide, whatever it is. The Sane one especially, I don't know if you saw that, but a wide open goal, heads it into the post. Just they still had, even with the great goalie play, they still had the chances they needed to at least get out of there with a tie. And it's just the perfect game where execution on one side and lack of execution on the other side.
Crazy. So yeah, I think both these teams are safe, or these 3 teams as far as the playoff, but I don't think either of them are getting in the top 8, and that's Bayern, Real Madrid, and Juve, who all have 12 points. So they are, I guess they could all win, and if someone in the top 8 ties or loses, they could have a shot, but they're probably going to be in the playoff.
Yeah.
There's going to be some crazy matchups in the playoff. If there's this many big clubs, they're bound to face each other. There's bound to be at least one like PSG Bayern matchup or something like that, you know?
Yeah, so I believe it's a draw where, if I read it correctly, wherever the table finishes, you get put into buckets based off of where you finish in the table. So I think if you're in the top 2 spots of the playoff stage table, you're guaranteed to play one of the bottom 2 teams, and so on and so forth. So I think we'll be able to look at some potential matchups that may happen, because I think it's basically like a 4-team draw in different sets moving through the table, basically. So there is some, definitely, if one of those top teams finishes in the bottom half of the playoff group, 100%, there's going to be some big matchups with those squads.
Yeah. All right, real quick before we move on, do any of the teams end up going to Europa like it used to?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
I don't think they do, because I remember looking at the layout and the breakdown, and it was never mentioned.
Yeah, I don't see it in the UEFA breakdown.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, let's get into the news.
Yeah, no teams will drop into the Europa League.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so news. Kyle Walker is officially on AC Milan. So, thoughts?
Done deal. Yeah, I think it's best for everybody.
I think that was the perfect reaction.
It's kind of, I mean,
Sure.
but it makes sense. We talked about how he had taken a step back this year, and
He's
I
still
don't.
good though. He's still not
He's
fully
still good
washed.
though. Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's like it could be, I don't know, jarring to see a player that you've held at so high taking a step back, but it doesn't mean they're bad. So I think it's a smart move by his part, and a smart move. I think it's a smart move on both sides. But
I
how much
mean,
of an impact does it make for AC Milan? I don't know.
I
It's
I
hard to
think
say.
it helps. You get another experienced outside back. You got Teo on the other side that have been
Mhm.
in a lot of big matches. They're
True,
in the
true.
top of
Yeah.
the Champions League. They're gonna keep going in the Champions League. So I like it. I like it. I think it's a good fit. Dude, I saw this and I got really excited. A little upset, but also excited. Nottingham Forest put a bid in for Cunha from Wolves.
Interesting.
There wasn't a number attached, but it was said that in the report that it was Forest's biggest offer they've like ever made to bring in a
Okay.
player.
Yeah, I would assume it has to be to bring in somebody like him. He just sign a new Wolves contract?
He did, yeah, he did.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
like a 4-year contract. My question is though, if they sign him, are they bringing him in off the bench? Like, what are they doing differently? They're not taking out Gibbs White.
You have to find a way to play the two of them together.
Is
So
Hudson
that's
Odoi
the
coming off?
no, because neither of those guys play that wide. I feel like so.
Yeah,
I feel like you have to take the approach of like we're going to play more offensive through the middle. You got to take off like I don't know an Anderson or somebody, or like you can only have sort of one more defensive minded midfielder,
yeah.
and then I think you play the combo of Gibbs White and Cunha because what Hudson Odoi and Alonga or whoever bring in on the wings, you can't get rid of that. You got to keep those guys. Those guys bring so much dynamic threat to the team.
Yeah. It would be cool to
Speaking of
see. It
threats
would
on
be
the
cool to
team,
see him go for it.
yeah, dude, let's just keep signing players. But speaking of threats on Nottingham, they also just extended Wood with a new contract.
Yeah. Sorry, I screwed up your segue right there. That was
It's
smooth,
all
and I
good.
just ran it off the road.
It's all good. Just I'll drink a beer and forget about it.
I'll drink for that one. No, but
It's
hey,
tough. It's
would
tough. It's
would
tough with it's tough with the tape delay that we're working with. And now I just interrupted you. See, tape delay.
yeah, those are excuses. We don't make excuses here. We just drink. But hey, good move for like Wood. You've earned it, dude. You're playing
Oh
like
yeah,
fucking like Ibrahimovic in his prime right now.
yeah. Just keep riding that high as long as you can. You know.
He's found a fit, man, and like their system, he is just finishing whatever they send his way. So, good for him. All right, listen to this. This is cool, or I thought it was interesting. So Napoli are trying to sign a winger. They put in a bid, a $50 million bid for Garnacho, which was rejected by Man U. They want 70 mil. So then they went after Adeyemi from Dortmund.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Personally, I would rather have Adeyemi at some price that's way below what Garnacho is going to go for than Garnacho at 70.
I would
Agree or
agree.
disagree?
Yeah, I don't know how much Adeyemi would go for. Uh, but I feel like they're probably pretty similar in age. So like they're both young as hell still.
What if the prices were
And
the same? Who would you take?
I think I'd take Garnacho if they were both. If Adeyemi was really that expensive, I would probably take Garnacho.
Either way, I like what Napoli is doing. I think both
Yeah,
these
no,
players can help your team.
yeah. They obviously just made bank with Kvaratskhelia leaving, so it's their opportunity to spend some of that and bring in some young blood that still is developing and has maybe more potential to reach and can fill a void from the winger position and
Yeah.
creating some more threats for them.
And then Chelsea heard, what, 70 million? Oh, we got to get in on this. They're trying to sign Garnacho too and get another winger, which makes zero sense because they have like 6 of them already. Maybe they would just purchase him and loan him out. It makes no sense what Chelsea does, but hey, they could end up with Garnacho too, which I don't think Garnacho cracks a starting lineup of Chelsea.
I don't think so either, but they will be losing. I mean, Sancho's only there on loan, right? So it might be a play more for the future than like this season if they were to make that type of move.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. I don't think it's a good fit.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't stop them before. I mean, that's everything we were saying about this Chelsea team last year, and eventually they've worked into a better cohesion,
Yeah.
this year with the coach they have. So I don't think that's going to scare them away at all. Like, I don't think they give a flying fuck
No.
about cohesion within that squad. So
They have like 80 guys on that team.
yeah,
All right, I like this move. Enciso from Brighton got loaned to Ipswich. Enciso's a good player. Was he
good.
Paraguayan? I think he's from
Yeah, he's
Paraguay.
great, man.
Um,
He's
he
great. He's just stuck on a great team with other great players, and he seems like the type of player that needs the ball, needs a lot of playing time to play well, and he's just not getting it. And you can see sort of the missing confidence that he used to have. So for him to go to a place that's still at the highest level and be the main thing, to be playing every game, every minute of every game, I think this is a fantastic move by him to get back to where he was a couple years ago.
Yeah, this is a great move for everyone involved. It's a good move for Ipswich because they get a talented player to help their offense.
Yep.
It's a good move for Brighton because they have a player who's not playing day to day and his stock is dropping because of it. So he gets to
Yep.
go out to another team, shine, a team that's not going to affect you in the standings if they do well. They're not a threat.
Mm-hmm.
And his value is only going to go up if he plays well. And then for Enciso, you get to play, you get to shine, you get to show your stuff, and probably try out for Ipswich if they stay up, or another club that may want you in the future. Everybody wins.
Yeah. And if you had to go to one of these lower teams, like I think that's the one you would want to go to. He sure as hell don't want to go to Southampton.
Oh, no doubt.
Leicester's been a dumpster fire. Wolves has been playing better, but still has a lot of turmoil, and he still might even struggle, especially if Cunha's there to play a lot. Um, I wouldn't want to go to Everton. So like I feel like that's the place to go. It's the vibes will probably feel a little bit better there, and the opportunities will be better of the bottom 5 teams. That's the one that makes the most sense for him.
Yeah, I like it. I didn't see this one. You must have put this in. Dortmund wants Zinchenko.
Yeah, I so Austin hit sort of the more I would say legit news, and then I went down the rumor mill. But some of the rumors I've seen flying around is Dortmund are interested in bringing in Zinchenko, who has not been playing much with Arsenal pretty much the last 2 years. I think he's a good player, but I don't know. I don't really see the benefit in this. I don't know. This seemed kind of like an interesting one that I wanted to throw at you. But yeah, it was the first I'd seen that.
He's a solid player, but he's getting older, and I just feel like he's hasn't been consistently healthy for a long time. And like, do you really want to target a guy that can't stay on the field? I don't. I would
Yeah,
stay. I
especially
would
for
stay
such
away
a
from that.
such a yeah, especially for such a big club. It's like I don't know. I would expect maybe a little bit different approach from a team of Dortmund's caliber. So
Yeah, I don't know,
that'll be
man.
one to watch. And then another rumor floating, speaking of Bundesliga, is supposedly Real Madrid testing the waters in regards to Kimmich from Bayern. Don't know much about it, just that supposedly they've reached out and put some feelers out there regarding his potential availability.
Yeah, I don't like that move either. I don't think that's a good fit for anybody.
Agreed. Yeah, I don't. He doesn't seem like a Real player to me, but something to watch for. And then this one, I just wanted to throw out there. I loved hearing this, but Willian has, I guess, reached a annulment on his contract with Olympiacos, and is currently back in England, looking for interest for teams that want to sign him for the second half of the season.
Nice.
So we may have the opportunity yet to see some more Willian.
I love Willian, dude. He's an all
Yeah,
time favorite.
yeah. So hey, maybe another Ipswich, Leicester type signing.
Uh
Something to
huh.
look for.
I bet he's still got super quick feet.
Yeah.
He's awesome. And then we mentioned the Solanke injury, and then yeah, Ten Hag rumored going to Dortmund. Eh, How if you're Dortmund, yeah, how can you look at what Ten Hag did at Manchester United and be like, "Yep, that's what we want. We want that
Sign
guy."
us up.
There's got to be another option out there, a better option. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I do wonder, you know, we watch the Premier League so much that a lot of times dominates, our thoughts is what we see in the day to day basis. Premier League. He did have a very successful run with Ajax,
That's true.
and there may be some people that feed more into that, and maybe they see themselves as we're more a club in the vein of an Ajax in our approach to players and our approach to style of play and so on and so forth. And maybe they see more of an alignment there, right? And say, it wasn't the right situation for him at Man U and the style of play and the league and all this. And if he can replicate what happened at Ajax, it's going to be fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, that's probably where they're coming from, I would say. But it's so hard to overlook what you just saw over the last few years.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they were like, "All right, Ten Hag, we'll bring you in, but you are not picking any of the players. We will pick the
Yeah,
players
yeah,
because your last 8 choices at Manchester United were god awful."
yeah,
Yeah, you just coach the team. We'll bring in the players. You just coach them up.
yeah. You just figure it out.
I mean, maybe he could. I bet he could do that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like a much better situation than obviously Man U. Like, this is a slight step down, I would say, in terms of publicity, obviously, with the most famous club probably in the world. Not that it's still a very big club and a really good job to have, but it might be the right fit for him. It might be just that right level that he fits into, the right type of coach that they want.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. All right, that's it for news. I got a game here for you. It's a keep or sell. Simple game.
Okay.
And I saw they did it on TNT with Paul Scholes. And they did keep sell with Paul Scholes, Manchester United players, Kurt Manchester United players, which I
Oh God.
found just so entertaining. I can't believe they did it, and it makes me so happy that they did. And he just was like honest and transparent about everything. So
Brutally honest.
I'm gonna
Love
bring
it.
up the players. I'm gonna have you pick first, and then I'll give you Paul Scholes' answer. All right.
Okay.
All right. Keep sell Onana.
So,
He actually said keep him.
mm,
Matthias de Ligt.
uh, I don't think he's bad, but I feel like he could be better. I would sell.
Paul Scholes agrees.
Okay.
Lissandro Martinez.
Uh, I would keep. I would take him over Delict for sure.
Paul Scholes sells him.
Okay.
Luke Shaw.
Sell.
And Paul Scholes agrees. Mason Mount.
Sell.
Agreed. Casemiro.
Sell.
Same. Kobe Mainu.
Keep.
Agreed. Garnacho.
Sell.
Paul Scholes agrees. No, he said keep. Oh, my bad. I was on the wrong one.
Wow.
He said keep Garnacho. Interesting. I would sell
Wow.
as well. I'm with you. I would sell Garnacho.
Yeah.
And then last, Anthony. Easiest one.
Oh God. Yeah. He's already gone.
So, it's Xerxes. One more.
I don't dislike him as a player. I don't feel like he is Man U caliber, if that makes sense. So it's like
Yeah.
I wouldn't sell low on him. Like, it's not like just get this guy out of here like an Anthony, but it's like, find a way to keep his value up and find a way to move on eventually.
Yeah. So all those players, he only had 2 keeps, I think. Or
Yeah.
3. He had Onana.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? I can't remember now. But Mainu and somebody else.
You said keep Garnacho. Yeah.
Keep Garnacho. Yeah, it's a rough roster.
Yeah. It is rough. Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. The Onana one's interesting to me. I feel like I don't know. We've always talked about how we're not the best at judging goalies, but there's times when he makes really good saves, like, and I think he's a good goalie, but I still have this like consistency doubt with him at times.
Because he
He's a
makes
little bit
big mistakes.
he's a little bit loose with his saves. He'll make a crazy save, but allow, a rebound. And I just think there's another level up you can go and get, and
Yeah. He
yeah,
has
just
an
because he's good with his
unorthodox
feet.
style.
Yeah,
And so when he
it's true.
does make a mistake and he does something weird, like he kind of does this like jump like straight up in the air and like twist to save it with his
Uh-huh.
hands. Uh and when he messes up, it's like, dude, that looked really bad.
Yeah. Which, I mean, isn't too. I mean, if you think about what they had De Gea before, who was also unorthodox and using his feet so much with his saves. So, it's not unheard of to have an unorthodox goalie there. But I De Gea at his prime was better than Onana at his prime, I feel like.
Oh,
And I
I
feel like there's a
no
goalie
doubt.
out to get at that level. So that's just my thought. Not that it's like we need to get rid of him, but it's also like there is probably somebody out there you could go get that is better.
Yeah, for sure. All right, trivia. You got some trivia for me? I don't have any for
Yeah.
you.
That's some trivia. Then we'll get into the slate for match day 23. All right, first one for you is I have a list here of the top 10 Premier League stadiums that have the most pubs within a 1 mile radius
Oh,
of the
this.
stadium.
Oh my god, this is so up our alley. Let's fucking go.
Yes.
Okay, top 10, huh?
And I'll just quickly
Have
tell
we
you
been to any of these?
we have been to one of these.
Hmm.
You have been to, oh, that'll give it away. But
Oh, Wolves.
uh yeah, damn it.
Wolverhampton, babe. Molyneux.
Wolves is number 2 on the list with 50 pubs within a 1 mile
Let's
radius.
go. It is a sick stadium, dude. We should go. I've been obviously
Yeah.
a bit of a train ride, but it's basically the same train ride that we took to Birmingham. It's
Hmm.
about the same amount of time.
Yeah.
Uh, hell yeah. Okay, so they're number 2. I feel like
They're number 2 on the list.
I would have guessed a London team at the top.
So it's not a London team at the top. That's a hint. And there's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 London teams on the list
Okay. All
in the
right.
top 10.
I'm shooting for number 1 here. I'm gonna go with. I know nothing about Newcastle and where it's at, so I'm gonna skip them. And I'm just gonna say, shit. I don't know. Liverpool.
Liverpool's number 6,
Okay.
25 pubs.
Okay. I'll drink for that. What's number 1?
Newcastle, the one you skipped over,
Oh my god. I was like,
with
oh, they're way up north. There can't be that much around.
over 3 times as many pubs as number 2, 174 pubs within a
What?
1 mile radius.
God, it must suck there to have that many
That's
pubs.
immediately jumping to the top of our list for our next trip.
Dude, it's already up there. That is
Yeah, it
the
was
next
already
that
there.
is our next trip.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the rest of the top 10. So at number 10 was West Ham, a stadium I have been to with 12 pubs. Nottingham at 9 with 14. Tottenham, the stadium we did go to together, with 20.
Yeah.
Everton right behind Liverpool with 23. They're very close to each other. I think they're actually less than a mile from each other. So obviously those two are going to be very similar. Chelsea at 5 with 27. Ipswich at 4 with 29. Arsenal at 3 with 33.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nice. That's awesome.
Nice.
That's
Yeah.
a cool list.
Yeah. Next one for you. This is just a stat real quick. But I had a list here, and this is courtesy of Sports Poll. But they have been doing polls throughout the U.S. every year since 1995 for who the favorite pro athlete is in the U.S. And for the first time Lionel Messi, a soccer player, has been voted the most favorite athlete in the U.S.
What? That makes me embarrassed to be an American.
I think it tells you a lot about the demographics of our country as it's changed over time, though.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, if you think basketball, they're the most popular athletes um, in the country. I'm shocked that Messi's. I question who. Did they only like go to Miami to get answers here? I don't know. That's pretty
I mean,
crazy.
I assume this poll was nationwide, and it's not just current players that they give lists of, like, in general, the most popular players, of all time in sports.
Mm.
So much so that the last 2 years before this, Michael Jordan was the most popular player in the U.S. so so he
Yeah,
just
the
dipped
goat,
enough that Messi overtook him this year.
dude.
But
Sorry.
good,
Sidebar of Michael Jordan because I was talking
yeah.
about someone. Oh shit! I just got beer everywhere. That one popped. Um, we're getting to the age now where people that are in their 20s never saw Jordan play,
Mm,
and I have to explain to them, like, no, Jordan was way better than anybody playing right now. Like, yeah,
hmm
LeBron's good. He's nowhere near as good as Michael Jordan was. And
yeah.
they just like can't compute that.
hmm Yeah, and his popularity was insane. So back to 1995. So it's like a percentage of votes, and at his peak, Jordan was at 20%. The next highest person that wasn't Jordan in any
Tiger Woods?
given one of the was Tiger Woods, all the way down at 6%. So he was over 3 times more popular than
Oh,
Tiger
wow.
Woods was at his peak, which is just insane. Like, it's on a totally different level.
That is crazy.
And then just honorable mentions, the other players that have made the list since 95: Peyton Manning a couple times, Kobe Bryant a few times, Steph a few times, LeBron you mentioned, and Tom Brady. So
Tommy.
that's a pretty short list, but
That is a short
that's
list.
only, what is that, eight people over essentially 30 years
Yeah.
that have been on that list.
Nice. That's cool.
All right, my last question for you. We mentioned it a little bit. I forget if it was last show or a couple shows ago, but you talked about promoted teams coming up and whether or not they stay up or go down. And so I actually found the stats here since 2000 of how the promoted teams have done every year. And so a couple questions for you. In general, do you think from the year 2000 to now, the promoted teams have done better on average or worse?
What do you mean better on average? Like stayed up?
This is based off points. So points per game, essentially,
Oh, okay.
which
I would
correlates
assume
to
they
stayed up
did.
or not.
They were below average. I would assume.
In general, the trend's been going down. You're correct. Points per game for the group of 3 promoted teams.
Okay.
Do you, of these years, which year do you think is the lowest points per game?
This year?
This year? You just guessing this year? You are correct. God damn it! I didn't even
Well,
give you the option.
Southampton are the lowest anyone's ever been at this point in the season.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a team that bad. Yeah, but they are, this year so far through the season, is the lowest points per game from the promoted squads since 2000.
Wow.
Incredible. And the second worst year was last year. So back to back, 2 of the worst years. The year before was actually really good. It was one of the higher ones in since 2000. But the last 2 years have been horrible. That 2 years ago, right, was like Nottingham coming in, right, and somebody, who else? Nottingham and somebody else came in and they were playing really well. But yeah, these last 2 years have been horrible.
I mean, it just goes to show there's so much money and talent on the clubs in the Premier League, like
Yeah,
1 to 17, that it's so hard to crack into that You have to spend big and hit on your players.
Yeah, you have to. Like that's what Nottingham did. They took the penalty. They spent big. They keep spending. It's what it takes.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that first Nottingham team. They had like Serge Aurier. They had a couple other guys on there. Like, I
Yeah, they had
remember in the moment, I
Taylor
was like, dude,
Navas.
yeah, they're going for it. Yeah, the Kaylor Navas
Yeah,
signing was great. I think they got him from PSG. It was like, yeah, all
yeah,
right, let's go. That's what you got to do.
it worked out for him.
All right. Should we get into this week's matches?
Let's do it.
And then we'll close with some bets and fantasy. All right.
Let's did it.
I think it's an interesting week this week. A couple of matches I had a struggle with, so maybe it won't be good for the bets. We'll see. Bournemouth is at home against Nottingham Forest. Two very informed teams. Bournemouth are dealing with some injuries, but I think these are pretty evenly matched squads. I went 1-1.
I also want the draw 2-2. Yeah, Bournemouth flirting with the top 6 right now, sitting in 7th, 1 point back. They're really one point back of 4th because Man U and Newcastle are tied, or Man City and Newcastle are tied. So they're right there, man. And Nottingham sitting in 3rd, but Bournemouth is not far behind, and they've been playing well, like you said. So I think this is a really even game, especially with it being at Bournemouth. I think that evens it out almost perfectly. So I went 2-2.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that the odds are in Bournemouth's favor, probably because they are at home. But
Yeah.
plus 105 for Bournemouth at home, plus 235 for Nottingham Forest, third best team in the league. I mean, if you like Nottingham Forest, it's pretty good odds. Even though
Yeah, it's an attractive odds if you just want to throw a flyer on it, even,
Yeah. Next up, we have Brighton at home against Everton. Brighton are minus 155 favorites, plus 420 for an Everton win. I don't see Everton having a chance in this one. I went Brighton 2-0.
I went 3-1. Yeah, I agree with you.
They're going to have a natural letdown after that big win over Tottenham, I think.
Yeah, they played really well, but that was above expectations, and there's going to be some reality hitting at some point here.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Liverpool is at home against Ipswich. These odds are insane. Minus 1,000 for a Liverpool win, plus 1,800 for an Ipswich win. I don't remember seeing a gap that big all season. That's crazy. And I actually am in agreement. I did a 4-0 Liverpool win.
Same. Yeah, 4-0. Same here. Yeah, I think the last time I saw odds that dramatic was when Man City was at its absolute peak and they were playing like Sheffield United or somebody.
Yeah.
Like, you don't often see it breaking that full 1,000 barrier on both sides. It's pretty incredible.
That is. All right, next up, Southampton, home dog, plus 500. Woo. They are facing Newcastle, minus 235 for Newcastle on the road there. What did you pick?
I went Newcastle 3-0. I think they keep,
Doesn't matter
there's
where they
too
are.
much for a team like, yeah, it doesn't matter with a team like Southampton. I think they're just too good. Isak's firing. They're playing well. Midfield's so tough to deal with. Like, I feel like the number one thing that will sustain your team going on the road is your midfield, and they have one of the best and strongest in the league. So I think it's just the smooth sailing for them.
Agreed. I did 2-0.
Okay.
Wolves are at home against Arsenal, plus 550 for a Wolves win, minus 230 for an Arsenal win. Very similar odds. And I picked a similar scoreline, 2-0 Arsenal.
2-1.
Okay, you gave
also have Arsenal with the win.
It's a tough one. Tough spot for Wolves there.
It is, but Arsenal's just been loving to keep these games tight that they should be winning by a lot.
It's because they can't score. Dude, they need to bring in a striker. It makes me so mad.
They really need it, yep.
All right, here we go. Match of the weekend. Man City at home against Chelsea. Plus odds for a Manchester City win, plus 105. Plus 220 if you think Chelsea's going to win. So you get pretty good odds either way. I think this is going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be a high-scoring one. I like the over in this. I went 3-2 Man City.
I went 2-2. This is just shades of my favorite voted game from last year,
That
the
4-4.
4-4 Pochettino Guardiola masterpiece
That
in the
was
rain.
that was an awesome match.
I just the vibes feel identical. I think we're going to be in store for another one of those.
Well, yeah, that's I hope it's a high scoring affair. This one was tough for me. Okay, Crystal Palace are at home against Brentford. Crystal Palace have been doing pretty well lately. Plus 105 for Crystal Palace win, plus 235 for a Brentford win. But I feel like there's a case to be made for either team.
Yeah,
I kind of threw my hands up in the air and I went 2-1 Crystal Palace just because they're at home. I kind of gave them that edge. But I
just
don't
because it's
feel great
Crystal
about it.
Palace.
And I love Crystal Palace too, but I like Brentford.
We know the truth. Come on.
It's
I
fine.
went I went 2-2. I was right there with you. I feel like this is a pretty even matchup. Brentford, you never really know what you're going to get on the road. They have struggled on the road at
Exactly.
times here, but they're more than capable of being better on the road, right? And you're right. Crystal Palace has been playing well. They're right next to each other in the table, basically even, 1 point apart. So it's just as even as it gets. So I think this is going to be a stalemate.
Crystal Palace are in better form, I think.
They are, yeah, yeah. Two was that 3 wins out of the last 4, I believe.
Yeah. All right, Tottenham Hotspur finally get an easy matchup at home against Leicester. Minus 205. They need this so badly. I mentioned the morale in the Europa match. I think this is a get right game for them, but they're going to give up a goal or two because they're just so weak in the back. Uh, I did 3-1 Tottenham.
I did as well.
You did
Yeah,
the
I
same,
think
yeah. They're minus
yeah, exactly.
205. Leicester's plus 440.
Yeah, I
And
really like because they have been struggling that I would have expected that, but with, a different time, that would have been an even more negative number for Tottenham. So it's definitely in the range to throw in a parlay with somebody
I
at
was
minus
hoping that
205.
number was going to be a little better. Minus 205 is like,
Yeah, you would think it would have been even better, but traditionally it would have been even worse, right? So
correct. Yeah.
even with that, I still think it's worthwhile throwing in something.
Yeah. Like this next one. Aston Villa at home against West Ham. It's almost the same odds. I think, I mean, West Ham are a much better team. So Aston Villa is at home minus 185 for a win. West Ham plus 460. No love for West Ham, a struggling West Ham side. I ended up going same. Oh no, different, slightly different score. 2-1 Villa.
I went the same. I went 3-1 as well.
Okay. And then lastly, Fulham is at home against Manchester United plus 130 for a Fulham win, plus 205 for a Man United win. Fulham
Is he
2-1.
going to do it?
Fulham
Is he
2-1.
going to do it?
Fulham's a better team right now. They are.
He
They
did it
are.
again.
They are. I mean,
He did it
I'm
again.
just being real here. Man
You're
United are
not
not a
wrong, man.
good
This is why you
team.
keep beating me in pickups. But one of these times I'm going to be right, and I went Man U 2-1.
Nah, you can't see. You're blinded by the jersey.
Nah, dude, I'm playing the stats, man. It cannot keep happening. It can't.
I just see Anthony Robinson drink making a run down the left side. That Euro kid who can't stop anybody just getting torched, and him whipping in across for Jimenez to be scoring like 2 goals in this one.
Beautiful.
Having said that, I have neither of those guys on my fantasy teams, which maybe I should change that.
Good point.
But
Yeah, no, I mean, Man U, I just mentioned how they basically struggle to pull out a win against Celtic or Rangers at home. But those are the type of tough games that this is going to be. It's going to be one of those tough ones. And on the balance of history, in the balance of the big dogs playing the little dogs, I think the little things are going to stack up. And if I have to give an edge to one team, I'm going to give it to Man U. I feel like a draw is even more likely, to be honest.
I
But
agree. I agree. A
I
draw is
can't. I
probably.
don't feel like I can be that conservative. I already picked a few draws, so I had to pick one or the other. And I feel like it's just enough of an edge, even on the road, that Man U will find a way.
No, I like that.
If this
Uh,
was still underdog, a completely different story. But I do think there's a little bit different vibes, even if they're still piecing it together, where they're not going to feel as defeatist coming into these games, or when they get into a bad situation, they're going to fight back.
Yeah.
Uh, whether that's actually the manager or just the fact that it's a new manager or whatever. But regardless, they're not. This would be a different story if we had somebody else at the helm still.
True. All right. Any of those lines or bets really calling your name?
Well, that very first one, I love getting plus 235 for Nottingham, who've been playing really well.
I like that too. The one I was going to call out was getting plus odds for Manchester City at home. I think is just a no-brainer bet. Plus 105 Man City at home. I know they've been struggling, but they have the same odds as Crystal Palace against Brentford. Like, that's wild to me. It's just you don't get those odds. I feel like you just got to take it.
Yeah, let's see. What else we got?
I'd even nah. See, everything else I'm like, I don't really know about that one. Don't really
I
know
like
about that.
So Brighton's playing Everton, and it's not even that bad odds, minus 155. So that's got to be a parlay with something.
Oh, I love any Brighton bet I'm in.
Maybe a Tottenham. They got to beat Leicester.
Yes, they got to beat Leicester.
So a what is that? So
Dude,
Brighton Tottenham would
we
be
did a
plus.
Brighton Tottenham parlay last week, and Tottenham screwed us.
They
Brighton
can't do
came
it
through.
twice. They can't do it twice.
Let's roll the dice one more time.
That'll get us the over plus odds, plus 145. So
yeah.
I'm cool with that.
All right, let's try that. I don't really see any other games that have real value, you know?
If you have faith in you don't want to go against a Crystal Palace, but plus 235 for Brentford, who are capable of playing and beating a team like Crystal Palace, those are pretty.
I know they've just been so bad on the road. It makes me nervous, but it's a London team, like easy travel. It should be. I don't know, man. I don't know why they play so bad on the road. Palace have been in pretty good form. I see it, but I just don't feel confident. Like I said, I don't feel confident about any, but if you're feeling it, I think you should go for it.
Let's see. An Aston Villa. What would like an Aston Villa Newcastle get us? That get us to even odds.
And what is it, about the same 235 for Newcastle?
That gets us to even odds.
Villa Newcastle?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was looking at a few favorite parlays.
I'm cool with that. What about an Ipswich draw for plus 1,000?
Dude, those odds are crazy.
That's crazy. I don't actually want to do it, but that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing really else. I mean, if you're feeling Man United, I don't like putting money on Man United, but I feel like that over under is pretty low. 2.5 for Fulham United.
Yeah, I feel like Fulham's been scoring goals.
Yeah, there's going to be some goals in that game.
Yeah, the Man U games have had the last few games they've played in the Premier League, 4 goals, 4 goals, 4 goals, 2 goals. So but what is that? 3 games in a row, Man U has been involved in games with 4 goals.
Yeah, we only need 3 for the win.
And Fulham 2-0. Where are they at here? 5 goals, 4 goals. So Fulham's not stranger to that either. 4 goals again for Fulham. I think you're on it. Fulham Man U over.
Yeah, it's a weirdly low number. Doesn't really make sense to me. I don't really see any other over-unders that really jump out to me. That Crystal Palace Brentford one is a little low too, but if I were to pick one, it would probably be that one. Because if you're gonna get a goal, I mean, if you're gonna get a high scoring game, like Brentford's a good team to do that. They can score and they can let goals in. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the only other one. Other than that, I think I
Not you don't
might
want
be
the
done
Everton
for the
under
week.
against Brighton?
Oh man, 2.5.
I see three
It well,
goals in that
it
game.
failed last week.
Yeah.
I can't.
And I
Yeah,
see 3 goals. I see 3 goals in that game personally, at least.
yeah. Dyche isn't there anymore. I think we should.
Good
I
point.
think we should walk away.
Yeah. You get the Moyes wild card now. All
Yeah,
right, that's
exactly.
good. Yeah, we're being
Yeah,
smart, strategic.
dude. Yeah, we got to keep this streak of making money going. So what are we?
I like it.
2 or 3 weeks in a row we've made money.
All right, prop bets.
All right, so we got to pick an underdog. Do you remember who picked the last one?
Let me take a journey back in time.
I think it was me, and I think I picked Brighton.
Yeah, you went first last time. Yeah. So I will go. So these are my options. I'll go through. So we have Nottingham at Bournemouth, Everton at Brighton, Ipswich at Liverpool, Southampton hosting Newcastle, Wolves hosting Arsenal, Chelsea at Man City, Brentford at Crystal Palace, Leicester at Tottenham, West Ham at Aston Villa, and that is it. So I'm going to go with the first one that I talked about, and that was Nottingham at Bournemouth.
I'm shocked that they're that low.
Yeah.
Okay, God, there's not a lot of good options left for me. I got to go Brentford. I feel like that's the only one that like makes sense. It's either that or West Ham, but I'm gonna go Brentford.
Oh, no faith in your Chelsea.
No, no.
Okay.
I think Man City are gonna take care of business. All right, now we'll close with the fantasy face-off, baby. I'm really liking this fantasy now.
Mm-hmm.
So we have $100 to spend on a goalie, 2 defenders, and 4 attacking players.
Yeah.
I'm explaining the rules because I'm trying to pull up my team and I'm buying myself some time.
Good job. Yeah. So each week you pick a combo of 4 midfielder forwards, 2 defenders, and a goalie with those $100.
Yeah, that's what I just
And the
said.
prices. Oh, I missed that part. I just heard that you said there was $100.
Thanks for listening, bro.
I was busy pulling up my team.
All right.
That's great.
Who'd you go with that goalie?
I went with Sells at $10.
Dude, had to. I did the same thing.
I had to do it.
$10. Oh, dude, I don't know why he's that low.
Yeah, I'm shocked with that.
Yeah, obvious pick. All right, 2 defenders. Both of mine are $10. I saved up on my defenders and I went all in on my attackers. My 2 defenders are Botman for Newcastle against Southampton. That should be an easy, clean sheet. And then I went Jurrien Timber for Arsenal.
I like that. Who they're playing? Arsenal's
They're playing Wolves. They're playing Wolves.
Okay. I didn't even see him. Yeah, it's a good pick. I went with Van Heck against Everton at $10. And then Zabarny against Nottingham for 11.
I like that one. He's been playing well.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to start with my least expensive player in the midfield.
I'll go with mine least. Yeah, we'll work our way up.
$11. Tyler Adams. Come on.
Same.
Dude. Had to do
Cheers.
it. Drink like
Cheers.
Is that not the most obvious pick in the world? $11? Come on.
The only concern is him not starting, but he's going to play at some point for sure.
Dude, you got to play him. He's been playing so well. They're banged up. They don't have a deep team. Unless I feel like the only thing holding him back would be an injury of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, $11 for him. My next cheapest is $17. I went with Leandro Trossard of Arsenal against Wolves.
I like that. Yeah, I went $15. Tried to save a little bit here, and I went with Ouattara from Bournemouth.
Oh man, you're gonna have 2 heavyweights on your team, aren't you?
Couple. One real heavyweight, I'd say, and then with somebody that I love, but not the biggest price.
I got to go with my guy, $20, Kevin De Bruyne.
Nice.
Had to do it.
I had to go with my guy, Matoma, at $19.
Oh, dude. That's my guy, too. Damn. I know I thought about it, but I had extra money, so I went with De Bruyne.
Yeah. Nice.
All right, and then my most expensive player, $22, Cole Palmer.
Oh, I like that pick. Damn. I went 24. I just went straight to the top. Give me Isak against fucking Southampton.
Isak
Hat
against
trick.
Southampton.
Hat trick inbound. Come on, baby.
Easily like the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, so we have pretty similar teams, but that Isak pick.
I mean, yeah, we only had two. We only had 2 the same player, right? So.
Well, we had Sells and Adams.
Adams, yeah.
But then I feel like Matoma Trossard are similar.
Yeah.
Your Isak
Ouattara De Bruyne different, and then Isak Palmer different.
Yeah, I think I want pieces in that Man City Chelsea matchup, just kind of for fun, and I also think that there will be goals in that game, so it'll be. I can't wait for that. What is that? Is that a Saturday game? It is. Yeah, it's a Saturday game, 9:30 a.m. I'll be up for that, baby.
Oh yeah, love it. Maybe we watch that one live together.
Dude, I'm down. Hit me up.
Let's do it.
I'll be up at like 7.
Sweet. I'll be up at 9:30.
I know you will. You'll text me at like halftime. Be like, okay, I'm up.
What did I miss?
All right, so yeah, we'll be back on Monday. Are we doing
Monday night
or
work?
Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
Monday night would be better for me.
If you're still listening, we do have 3 people watching, but I think one of them's you. Yeah, we're gonna do YouTube from here on out, 9 p.m. roughly, Mondays and Thursdays.
Nice.
So
okay.
If you want to hang out, YouTube, Ballon Drunks. We don't even say the name of our podcast because
dude, we don't know what the hell we're doing, but we're just gonna keep going.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going.
We're not professionals. We're like that
slowly but surely.
We're like that 5th division team that's in the FA Cup that shocks the world with like a 1-0 win over Liverpool or something. Like
where Tottenham comes into town and you're literally having to duct tape the net to the post because it keeps falling off.
We work all day and then we're like, all right, let's go ball. That would be so
It's actually what my mic stand kind of looks like. It looks like that net at that whatever that team was that Tottenham played. They had to tape the net.
Yeah.
Dude, it's great.
It'd be so cool if they had that in the MLS. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I know. It's so everything's so much better.
They Americanized the format. The fucking MLS sucks. So mad. I'm now a member of the league.
It's really annoying. They just do it better.
League. Be a real league, MLS. Figure it out. All right. Anything else?
Well, just as we depart, I'm going to finish my beer in shame. We didn't mention it last time, but Austin's basketball team obliterated my team head-to-head by 40 points.
It's all right. We just lost to the Lakers.
Oof, that hurts.
That does hurt. Yeah, it was a back-to-back. We looked tired.
But I'm going to be finishing my beer in shame for that brutal beatdown.
Cheers to you, yeah. I'll drink
Cheers.
with you. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you. Yeah, hit me up Saturday. See if we can watch that game.
Yeah, let's try to watch it Saturday. Sounds great.
Down.